Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay guys, welcome back to this channel. And in this video, I will doing the English project that is IT presentation, and I will represent about IT, that is from my major network engineer, and the material is dynamic routing with OSPF in Cisco Packet Tracer. So let's make it quick. The first, what is OSPF? So there is the 3 points about OSPF. The first is OSPF is link state protocol. OSPF is open shortest path first, is a sophisticated link state dynamic routing protocol that maintains a complete view of network topology. And the next is Dijkstra algorithm. OSPF is use Dijkstra shortest path first algorithm to calculate optimal routes based on cost metric. And the last is enterprise standard. Because OSPF is widely deployed for scalable, fast, converging routing in large enterprise network and service provider environments. Okay, next point. Okay, why use OSPF? So first, because scalable hierarchical designs. Because OSPF is supports hierarchical network design with multiple area, enabling efficient routing for network of any size. And next, because rapid convergence. OSPF is fast convergence and efficient routing updates ensure minimal downtime when network topology change. And next, advanced features. Because OSPF is support VLSM for efficient address allocation and load balancing across equal cost paths. And last is vendor interoperability. Because open standards ensure interoperability across different vendors, equipments, and platforms. Okay, next point. Okay, the key concept of OSPF. So the first is link state advertisement. Okay, advertisement. Because that is routers exchange LSIS to share information about their directly connected links, network, and link cost. And next is link state database or LSDB. Because each router builds a complete network topology from map, retrieve LSIS, creating identical LSDBs with an area. And next, router ID, that is a unique 32-bit identifier for each OSPF router, typical choose from loopback, interface, or highest IP address. And the last is area. Logical grouping of routers that optimize routing by reducing LSIS and SPF calculation while maintaining topology information. So that's the key concept for OSPF. The next is the design for OSPF in your network. So the first, you must build the network for sure. That is, connect multiple routers using Ethernet or serial links in Cisco Packet Tracer or CPT simulation environment. And next is configure the IP address. Yes, assign IP address to router interface and connect PC to appropriate subnet. And 3 is plan OSPF area. You first start with a single area, that 0 or backbone area, for simplicity, then expand to multi-area design. So that's for design for your OSPF network. Next, so this is the basic configuration of OSPF in CLI. So the first, we enter the router, then in CLI we text like this, enable to enter the privilege mode. And the second is, after in privilege mode, we text configure terminal to global configuration. And after that, in global configuration, you can text like this, router OSPF1. And the one is router OSPF1, the one is process ID. Okay. Oh yeah, forgot. And the last is set router ID. Okay, next, understanding wildcard mask. So in OSPF, he use wildcard mask, but and he doesn't use subnet mask. So we must know what is wildcard mask. So what is wildcard mask? Wildcard mask is represent the inverse of subnet mask used in OSPF network commands to specify IP address range for advertisement. For example, conversion. For subnet mask, we know that /24 is 255.0, and the wildcard of this that is this 000 255. This wildcard mask is enable flexible network advertisement in OSPF configuration. So that's the meaning of wildcard mask. Next point, verify the OSPF in Cisco Packet Tracer. After we make the OSPF, we can check it. So the first we can check like this: show IP protocol is for displays OSPF configuration detail, including process ID, router ID, and area configure. And the second is show IP OSPF neckbore, is for list all OSPF neckbore and agency states showing two-way communication. The third is verifying router. You can text like this, that is show IP router OSPF. This is for display OSPF learn routes in routing table with metric and next hop information. And the last is test connectivity. For example, you can test ping the IP from neckbore like this. And this is for test end-to-end connectivity between PCs across multiple router to verify the routing. Okay, that's for the verifying OSPF. Next, so the troubleshooting and tips. So there is the point about for troubleshooting. The first is verify area ID. This is to ensure all router share the same area ID for successful agency formation. The second is check interface status. This is for interface must be administratively up with no shutdown command. And the third is validate IP configuration. Verify correct IP addressing and matching subnet mask on connected interface. And last is enable debugging. This is for use debug IP OSPF event for detailed OSPF activity logs during troubleshooting. Okay, next point. Okay, last point, that is summary and next step. So in summary, we know OSPF is enable dynamic scalable routing with fast convergence and advanced path selection. Efficient path selection. And you can practice with Packet Tracer. So in Cisco Packet Tracer, our CPT is provide as an excellent simulation environment to practice OSPF configuration. And we must explore advanced feature. We must experiment with multi-area OSPF, routing summarization, and authentication for enhanced security. And last is career preparation. Mastering OSPF prepares you for CCNA certification and real-world enterprise networking challenges. Okay, that's all for the slide. Maybe that's the presentation from me about dynamic routing OSPF in Cisco Packet Tracer. I'm sorry if I have wrong words. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.